Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final flock as we await the extended teams to be released in less than a minute. So what I do want to share with you before we see the announcement, I want to show you the rolling predicted 23 that we have put together since we've heard about Beau McCreery being or experiencing more hamstring awareness. So we'll see him out for another 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks. Who knows? Houston, we're hearing, is a chance to come back in. So there's that conversation of, are we rushing him back a little bit too early? I suppose we'll find out in the next minute or so whether he comes back. We'd love to see Frampton back. We as a community at Pies Footy are tipping that maybe a Ned Long gets rested. We flirted with Nick Dacos' name, but is Nick Dacos going to cop being rested when there's 3 Brownlow votes up for grabs? I just don't see Nick Dacos as the player who'd want to miss out on that opportunity, on top of just loving being on the footy field whenever it's possible. So for us, we feel maybe Ned Long gets rested. We see more of Tom Mitchell, see if there's a balance without Ned Long in the side. Markov with Houston's potential inclusion, maybe we see this happen after he did probably a little bit too much or tried to do too much against Fremantle. Cox and Dean out with players like Membry in. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Who have I not highlighted here that could be in the team as well? Rowan Steele. So to accommodate for Beau McCreery being out, we're thinking Rowan Steele in, move Lipinski to the forward line, and then Rowan Steele goes into the wing. Now, let's see if the teams have come out. And then we'll have a little gaze at it together. Refresh. This is where we just excessively press the refresh button. All right, here we are. So let's try and make of what this is. Tim Membry in, expected. Tom Mitchell in, expected. Dan Houston, okay, there you go. Comes in a little bit earlier. We opt not to be conservative, and we run the risk, and we live and die by that sword. Rowan's still in with the opportunity. So let's see who is on the field that will be considered a definite in then. Because last week... No Billy Frampton, guys, by the way. Billy Frampton will be out for another week, which, personally, as I mentioned, you've got to take calculated risks. You can't bring in Dan Houston and Billy Frampton, who are both experiencing soft tissue issues, and bring them both in and run the risk that it could be a disaster for both of them. I think damage control, Billy Frampton, another week before we face Brisbane. He is on the interchange, so there's no guarantee that he will be in the side, but I feel like, why would you put Dan Houston's name on the extended squad if he's not going to play? So I'm essentially penciling in Dan Houston. Markov, with the fact that Markov being on the bench, I feel like he could be one of the outgoing players, especially with Dan Houston in. So I'm almost penciling in the fact that Markov could be out. I think Rowan Steele's an in. Mason Cox on the bench. Once again, I'm probably factoring in Mason Cox being out. Ned Long is on the field. Nick Dacos is on the field. So neither of them will be managed, it seems. So I think Lockie Sullivan might get dropped here. It's either Sullivan or Ed Allen. I'd be surprised if Hoskin Elliott gets dropped, given he just does well as his versatile sub. Seems to do well when he comes back onto the field. Some are saying this is Charlie Dean's last chance. I don't know what a game against Richmond is going to do for your hopes in saving your position at the club, given, as we spoke about earlier in the stream, there's going to be potentially 6 changes to the list that need to happen to bring in 5 or 6 other players through the draft, through free agency, and through the fact that we have 2 players in the mid-season draft as well. Magpie Madness, welcome to Champ Pie, my friend. I appreciate it. Appreciate the support. Legend. Ben, thanks for the 5. I stand surprised and corrected. Houston in, good shit. Yep. I think Xander McQuire reported on it anyhow. So if we go back to our predicted 23 then, with Ned Long in the side, I feel like McCreary's like, does Ed Allen miss because Sullivan plays that forward role, and with McCreary out, I actually think Sullivan might survive this. I think Sullivan does give us a little bit of forward versatility, whereas Ed Allen has been playing exclusively as a winger. So you could see this. I reckon we could see this, Ed Allen out, or you could also potentially see something like perhaps this. These are the permutations that are running through my mind. And we've also got Charlie Dean, who we had listed as out. So this is where it gets messy. If Charlie Dean is still on the side, interesting. I've got Frampton playing. Oh, okay. Yep, that makes sense. Sorry. Duh. All right, hold on. Hang tight. Bear with me. This is why I got you guys here with me, to hold my hand. I need you guys here. So Frampton not available. Not even on the extended squad at this point. So I think these are probably the outs, yeah? 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's about right, isn't it? Dean a sub? Nah, Dean won't be the sub. Maybe Allen, Sullivan sub. I can see Will Hoskin-Elliott being in the side. Dean will play. His name's stamped on the ground. Yes, I did miss that. Sully has to play in lieu of Bo. He does feel that forward pressure role, and that's why I've still got him in the side. Ed Allen in front of Rowan Steele. I mean, if you kick 4 goals in the VFL, I know it's the VFL, but I just would like to see Rowan Steele. I think we know. I almost feel like we know what we're going to get with Ed Allen this year. But then you could say, look, Ed Allen's making some really positive strides. Perhaps we just keep investing on this guy playing as much footy as possible, because we know he's more likely to play finals than Rowan Steele. So you know what? I'm with you. We'll go Ed Allen starts, Rowan Steele the sub. As much as I'm fascinated by seeing Rowan Steele playing more footy, and I was just hoping maybe he'd start, but can appreciate that. Sullivan is a good sub. I think he's probably a more proven pressure forward than Rowan Steele is at AFL level. This is our very last game to take risks. So we're going to see 4 changes. I don't want to be seeing us making as many changes moving forward. Like this, so Coxie was forced because of Membry. Hoskin-Elliott, you got players coming in that maybe don't work to his favour. Dean was solid last week, says Michael. I think with the ball, with his ball in hand, his handballs were reliable. And I've always said it's not his distribution that is his issue. For some reason, I don't understand. For some reason, he just isn't up to it defensively. But he does so well with his interceptability at VFL level. It just doesn't translate. It just does not translate, unfortunately. Rowan Steele is a quicker return of investment. Ed Allen will be 12 to 18 months' time. Yeah, Rowan is more ready-made. His distribution is really good. It's obviously better than Ed Allen. Ed Allen's that type of player who probably needs to fill out before he becomes a real strength in the league. But I still think, I'd still argue, Ed Allen is more likely to play in the finals than Rowan Steele. So you put your bet, you bet on Allen and you put more time into him because he could possibly be in the side. Because as soon as Bobby Hill and Jordan De Goey are available, players like Rowan Steele, Lockie Sullivan, probably not going to be in the side, right? Ladies and gentlemen, that is the final flock. Let me know what you think in the comment section about the extended teams and the rolling predictor 23. We'll find out more about the final side tomorrow at 5 p.m. around that mark. And until then, as always, go Pies.